In 1973, CIA Director Richard Helms gave an order: destroy every file on a certain program. Thousands of pages were burned, an attempt to erase an operation that had run for almost 2 decades. The order didn't fully work. Some files survived simply because they'd been misfiled. Years later, a Freedom of Information Act request brought them back into the light. What those pages revealed was a mind control program run by the United States government on its own citizens, most of whom never knew they were part of it. Its name, MKUltra. The year was 1953. The Cold War was at its most paranoid, and the CIA feared that the Soviet Union and North Korea had developed real brainwashing techniques. The agency wanted 2 things: agents who could resist that kind of manipulation, and a way to make enemy agents talk, whether they wanted to or not. The project born from that fear got a code name, MKUltra. At the head of it was a CIA chemist, Sidney Gottlieb. His job was nearly limitless in scope. Was there a way to control the human mind? To erase memory? To rewrite personality itself? The program was never run under one roof. It was split across more than 60 separate sub-projects, reaching into universities, hospitals, and prisons, many of which had no idea what they were really part of. The methods tested under MKUltra, according to declassified records, included psychoactive drugs like LSD, hypnosis, sensory deprivation, and electroshock. The most disturbing part, some of these experiments were carried out without the subject's knowledge or consent. A federal narcotics agent, George White, operating under the alias Morgan Hall, ran CIA-funded safe houses in New York and San Francisco. Records show he brought in ordinary, unsuspecting people, dosed them with LSD without their knowledge, and recorded how they reacted. The LSD itself was supplied to the CIA by one of the era's leading pharmaceutical companies, Eli Lilly. And the program didn't stop at unsuspecting adults. Some reports indicate it reached into prison populations and psychiatric patients, people with the least power to protect themselves. MKUltra's sudden shutdown in 1973 and the burning of its files was not a coincidence. In the shadow of Watergate, questions about the CIA's internal conduct were mounting. Director Richard Helms chose to destroy the evidence before any investigation could reach it. That's when a journalist stepped in. In 1974, New York Times reporter Seymour Hersh exposed illegal domestic operations by the CIA. A year later, that story helped trigger a sweeping Senate investigation, the Church Committee. Sidney Gottlieb testified before the Senate. In his own words, once you added up the money spent, the risks taken, and the results achieved, the program had not been, his words, a high payoff. After years of experimenting on human beings, the CIA still had no working technique for mind control to show for it. Because so many records were destroyed, a full accounting was never possible. To this day, no one knows exactly how many people were involved or how many were harmed. MKUltra officially ended in 1973. Its influence didn't end there. The program helped inspire films like The Manchurian Candidate, countless conspiracy theories, and decades of question about what governments do behind closed doors. In 2024, the National Security Archive released a collection of more than 1,200 previously unpublished pages. In 2025, Gottlieb's full Church Committee testimony was made public for the first time. The story of MKUltra is still being written, one released page at a time. Maybe MKUltra's real legacy isn't the techniques it produced. It's the question it forces us to ask. How far can a government go in the name of national security without the knowledge or consent of the people it governs? The burned files mean we may never get a complete answer, but the pages that survived prove one thing beyond doubt. This was never a conspiracy theory. It was documented, confessed under oath, debated on the floor of the United States Senate. It was real. Somewhere in a government archive, there are still boxes of paper that no one has opened in 50 years. Not because they're lost, because they were never supposed to be found. And that's the part of this story that should stay with you longer than any single fact. It's not just what the CIA did, it's how long it stayed hidden and how much of it we will never fully know. Think about that for a second. An entire program run for 2 decades on American soil, using American citizens, some of whom never signed a form, never gave an answer, never even knew they'd been chosen. Not because they were suspects, not because they were criminals, simply because they were available. That's the quiet horror at the center of MKUltra. It wasn't run by monsters in the dark. It was run by respected doctors in real hospitals, funded through real budgets, approved by real signatures, people who told themselves they were protecting their country. And maybe that's the most unsettling part of all. The people who did this didn't think of themselves as villains. Which raises the question this video can't fully answer, but you should sit with anyway. If a program like this could run for 20 years, hidden in plain sight, inside one of the most scrutinized governments on Earth, what else has since? We don't know. Maybe no one does. What we do know is this. The files that survived the fire are the only reason we're talking about this at all. Somewhere, a clerk misfiled a folder, and because of that single human mistake, a piece of the truth made it out. History doesn't usually survive because power decided to be honest. It survives because someone, somewhere, refused to let the record disappear completely. That's worth remembering, not just about MKUltra, about everything we're told we'll never be allowed to see. If this story affected you the way it affected me putting it together, you already know why it matters to keep telling it.